Hey guys, Sword here, and this is going to be Operation Bedrock number 31. So, what we have here, well first of all, a lot of things are spawning at the edge of the world. As you can see, there's dirt and there's iron and there's gravel. We would never leave iron there behind, but I figured, hey, it's just going to keep spawning every time I come back here, so I'm just not going to bother patching it up. I think there is a way to patch it up, but I'm just not going to bother with that. So, what we have here is we're still working on a skylight. One of my other friends is online, so I'm going to invite him into this world so that he could help out too. So this is what it is, Operation Bedrock, and we are at the skylight. And we're still working on it layer by layer. Like I said, thank you guys so much for the LT trick. That really helped a lot and brought me back motivation to actually play on Operation Bedrock. That was one of the things I was mainly concerned about, is that the blocks kept spawning over and over and over. And a lot of people have been telling me about the LT trick. I just wasn't really listening, for the fact that I actually tried it with the torches. Someone told me that you could use torches that would get rid of all the blocks, but all that did was getting rid of one block at a time. So I figured, the LT trick is just not going to work for me. But then one day I was like, I got nothing to lose, I'm going to try it. Then, there you have it. I tried it, and it actually works. So I'm really happy for that. So that brought me back motivation to actually play Minecraft again. So, yeah. A lot of more work is to be done in Minecraft. The first week of school is already over, and so far I've only got one assignment to do and a little bit of reading to do. So I want to start inviting people soon. I keep saying that every single week, but I had to make sure what my schedule was for this week, or how my life's going to go, because I've already said this in another video that basically I wake up in the morning, I go to school, I go back home, I make a video. After that video I get ready for work, and when I go to work, basically it's all through the entire night. I gotta stop saying basically, that's still one of the things I need to work on. But I usually work the night shift, so when it closes at around at 10, I go pretty much get home by at least at 11. Then I basically gotta stop saying basically. I just can't stop. I'm sorry. Well, once I get home, I take a shower, then just play a little bit of video games and go to bed, wake up. Usually I wake up at noon. Yeah, because I usually sleep late, but that's besides the point. I usually wake up at noon, I make a video, then I get ready for work, and once I go to work, again, it's a night shift, so I have to go through that entire night shift, and then go home, go to sleep, wake up, go to school, go home, make a video, go to work, come back home, rest, go to sleep. So yeah, it's just the same thing every single day, with the exception of the weekends. The weekends can go either way. It could either be that I get the night shift and I have to make a video before I get to the night shift, and I go back home and then there's nothing I can really do, or I have the morning shift, which usually is pretty great that I have the morning shift. I usually get out by at least 4 or 5. I can make a video, then for the rest of the night I can do whatever I want. But it still leaves me to be very busy throughout the entire week. That's how busy my life is at this point. And once I am getting more and more homework, or more and more things to do, or any other obligations that I have to do, that's what's gonna affect my time the most. And this is one of the reasons why I can't invite people. I just don't have the time in the world. If I were to have all the time in the world, where I didn't have a job or I didn't have to go to school, then every single day we could all be playing at least Minecraft or something else. That is one thing that I really want to strive for, or want to accomplish, to the point where I could actually make a living off of playing video games, and then from there all I have to do is just play video games, and that's all I can do for the rest of my life. I don't even care if people look down upon that, like, oh, you're just playing video games, but I'm making money while playing video games. I'm having a lot more fun than being in a cubicle making up paperwork and all that good stuff. So don't talk to me about how I'm doing with my life. A little bit of rant, just gotta let it out. Anyways, one other day, like, I was on the drive-through, I was being myself, I was just basically, gotta stop saying basically. Well, I was just, it's hard for me to actually make a thought without saying basically. This is one of the things I gotta work on. I actually stopped saying uhs and ums in my commentary. Now I just gotta work on stop saying basically. It's hard for me. Honestly, it is. Well, on the drive-through, I've gotten a lot of customers, a little bit of a rush here and there. Then once it started slowing down, I took a person's order. When they got to the drive-through, they actually asked me if I was a DJ. It's like, no, I'm not a DJ. But then it's like, then they go on about like, you have a great voice that you could actually be on radio. I actually made a video about this before, but this was like the 10th person who said that I could be on radio, and that really brought up my day. Apparently I have a certain voice that could actually go on radio. I'm not too sure how it worked, but all I know is that it probably was the microphone that actually sounded better, because I can never actually hear myself when I'm speaking or hearing my playback on the commentary. But apparently when people hear my voice through an intercom or something like that, I probably have a good voice. I could go on radio, so maybe I could actually become a person that's on radio. But for now, I'm going to be making commentaries. Maybe that'll be the alternative for making or being on radio. Is that one of the things that I actually have to work on is learning how to actually have more enthusiasm in everything like everybody else. I just can't have that monotone voice. Like usually when I first started talking to people, or when I first started making videos, I had that monotone voice that people recognized me for, and whenever I go on Skype and talk to other people, they recognize me because of that monotone voice. And whenever they actually hear me speak for the first time, they never expected for my voice to be so deep. I always get compliments on that too, but that's one of the things that apparently made up for how I am making my commentaries. A lot of things that I do now is that a lot of people take notice to, and I try to work on it. I honestly do, but I just don't know how to work on it. So that's one of the things that kind of brings up my day whenever a customer actually says that I have a good voice. Because it's not every day you get compliments from a random stranger, but from a stranger that actually believes that you could be on radio and actually could make something a good of a living from that. That's really a good boost to your day. So what we have here is one of the water spots. It always spawns. I wanted to make a video about that too. I just keep forgetting. There's a lot of videos that I want to make, but I keep forgetting to make. This is one of the things I want to show you guys, but for now this is Operation Bedrock. Here's one of the things, is that water would always spawn. I block it off, I fix everything, I save, I exit, I come back, the water's back. There's nothing I could do about that. And you see that there's nothing happening because that's how bad the lag is for us. So I have to pretty much go all the way over there and press LT to get rid of the water, so there's nothing I could do. And the reason why I'm using a sword most of the time is that I'm showing you guys that LT actually works. I'm just not saying that it works, I'm showing you guys it actually works, because LT is used for blocking on a sword, so when I use it on something that's supposed to be gone, it'll disappear. So that 3 spot of coal, that water will always spawn. And a lot of things on the edge of the world will always spawn. I still gotta make a video about that too, so there's a lot of things I need to do, but I'm still gonna have to make a part 2 of how RuneScape changed our lives, and I'll explain more about that in that video. But I honestly think that RuneScape has changed a lot of our lives, because for the fact that we've played the game for so long, we've met a lot of people, and we got the experience that we got because of that video game. Or I can't really say video game, I just have to say multiplayer online RPG, whatever you want to call it. It's a game, it's on video game, whatever, online, doesn't matter anymore. Let's move on. So on Operation Bedrock, we're getting more and more work done. I'm actually done with the skylight. That grass and dirt always spawns. I don't know why, it always spawns. I always have to fix that staircase. I don't need that leather, but I just always have to fix that staircase where the dirt always spawns. And I appreciate everyone who's being patient with me whenever I am not inviting people. So you gotta understand that I'm really busy with a lot of things. When it doesn't look like I'm busy, I'm kind of busy. And usually on my days off that I really want to relax, play other video games other than Minecraft. And yeah, today is like the only day where I didn't have to wake up in the morning. All this week I had to wake up in the morning, even when it was supposedly my day off where I had a different schedule. They put me on the morning schedule, so I didn't really get that much sleep. That's just life. You gotta keep going, you gotta work what you got. So yes, for those who are patient with me, I appreciate it truly. And for those who pretty much given up on me, I've already made a video saying that you can play with other Minecrafters on Xbox 360. I have a video, and it always pops up at the last 20 seconds of this video. You'll see it in the video annotations at the end. I believe it's gonna be on the top right corner, but in that annotation, it's gonna take you to a video where you could meet up with other people who play Minecraft either for the PC or the Xbox 360. So if you want to meet up with other people and play with them, by all means go right ahead. So that's why I created that video, so not only you meet other people, but if you're expected to play with me and you never really get the chance, at least you could play with other people who are probably more dedicated to what they want to do. But like I said, I have a lot of more operations. I got 3 more operations, maybe a 4th, maybe possibly a 5th. But who knows? It's just whatever ideas that come to mind, I'll write it down and pretty much put it all together, and hopefully we all get to play. And we're just gonna have to wait. This is only the first week, and I gotta see how the entire life schedule is gonna work, because usually I only have 4 to 6 hours to myself. Even though that does sound a lot, honestly it isn't, depending on what you have to go by. If you work in the mornings and you only get like 2 hours, 3 hours left for the night to yourself, you really want to take that 3 hours to yourself. You don't want to do anything else. You don't want to work on any projects. That's kind of the attitude that I have right now. Is that whenever I go home, the first thing I want to do is make a video, upload it, and then get ready for work, and then go to work, go home, rest, do whatever I want to do, not even be concerned with Operation Bedrock or anything like that. Just rest and then wake up and start the cycle over. So that's why I hate growing up, but that's one of the things you have to do in life. You have to grow up and you have to pretty much live your life and deal what you got and move on. It's not going to stop because you want it to stop. So yeah. Cookies. Alright, so Operation Bedrock, we're nearly getting done with Skylight. We're doing it little by little. McLolly threw me the pickaxe. Well, okay, I'm just gonna continue on with this. So, I just can't wait. I'm still waiting on 4J Studios to put up the patch update of title update number 8 so I can make a video about it, telling you guys what is new, what has changed, and what is different. And hopefully they actually have upgraded the servers or something like that, for the matter that it would be less laggy for everyone. Better connection, better memory storage, because this file alone is 22 megabytes, and then we have Comlet, who has a file or a world that's 36 megabytes, and all he's done is build in that world, and he can't really invite people, because if he invites more than 3 people, the server would freeze. So that's one of the things that 4J kind of underestimate of how powerful or how good a server can be, or what is the limit on a server. Right now I'm at 22 megabytes and all I've been doing is digging. You would think that just breaking blocks would just decrease the file size, but no. Of course that we're making more and more blocks appear, we're putting more and more stuff down, like chests, and putting all the blocks into the chest. That's all pixels and that's all memory. So if we were to delete all that, I wonder if the file will be lower or higher. I don't even know at that point. But all I know is that Operation Bedrock is at 22 megabytes, so that is a pretty big file on its own, and it's probably going to only get bigger as more progress that we do in this world, especially when items are starting to spawn at the edge of the world. Even though if I were to pretty much place an entire stone wall, stuff is going to spawn there. My friends could vouch for that. One time we actually logged out, came back in, and on the stone wall, a waterfall started to appear. It appeared on its own, and I had to patch that up. So, yeah, that was really, really fun right there. So, all there is to know is that my life is actually busy every week, and I try to make the best that I can. I still need to plan all things out, because the one thing I don't want to do is procrastinate, or I don't want to fall behind in my classes like I've done in the past. So that's one of the things I actually got to work on. That should have been my New Year's resolution, but at least I'm keeping up with my other New Year's resolution that I am working out little by little, and I'll probably talk about that in another video, and hopefully you guys could actually join me on that one, because it's pretty simple to do. And all you have to do is just do it once, and that's it. You don't have to do any more for the day, and then next week you increase it. So I'll talk about that in another video, but for now, this is Operation Bedrock number 31. It's Steve X98 joined me, I Fear Frost joined me, and Anti-Reactions, he joined me for a bit before he actually had to go. But until then, I am SorKing090. Have a nice day, everybody, and I will see you in the next video.